Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic Gathering online challenge. We're back with Karn Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game one. I'll keep. Not my favorite hand in the world. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But Foothills could be Ruby Storm, could be Eldrazi Ramp, World Breaker to Grave, pass, and pass. Yeah, if it's Ruby Storm, we're in trouble. It's Ruby Storm, we're in trouble now. Forest, Rumble, I need a lab. If I get another turn, that is. Yeah, so if we get another turn, we're okay, because we'll have 5 into Karn to Jailer, but if we don't get a turn now because of Gemstone, we're SOL. Artist Talent. Ritual. Yikes. Yeah, Gemstone might just cost me. Let's see what they find off the Impulse Draw. Okay, best thing to happen. Do they have another Impulse? They have another Exile. They have at least the Metamorphose. And the Artist Talent to trigger. Metamorphose. Draw a card. Reckless Impulse. There's Rouse Strike It Rich. Another Ritual, Jesus. Row. Strike It Rich. I need them to lose. They lose. Need them to lose. They lose. Thank God. Wait, they still have the Artist Talent? They do. Thankfully it doesn't trigger the Row. Ooh, that was, how should I say, scary. Alright, let's go. Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul. Oh, I'm still... I don't think I was 5. I am at 5, but I need 6. Damn. Okay. So how do I want to proceed here? Obviously, they're top decking for their life. We could... Okay, I think it's actually right to do this. I think we should go Bajukabog. I can't clear their board. Like, yeah, we can get rid of the treasure token, but that's about it. So yeah, I think we go Bajukabog. Clear. Next turn, we can play Karn into Jailer. Pass. Please don't have an Impulse Draw. There's Medallion. Cycles Grape Shot. Cycles Parlor. Okay. Draw. Null Drifter. Land. Fetch. We're gonna go Stomping Ground, Shock, because we can sweep out the Medallion at some point. KGC. You could also go Ugin, but I don't think we go Ugin this turn. I think we go Ugin next turn. But we'll need to draw into... I guess we don't need to draw into a card. Minus... Yes. I guess a good question here is Trinisphere or Jailer. I'm going to say Jailer. Yes. And go to combat. So yeah, next turn I can tick up a Medallion and sweep. There's Wish. They need to get rid of the Jailer. When's the flip? Yeah, these artist talents are a bit of a problem. I wonder if an EE for 2 is right next turn. Because that gets rid of Medallion, Artist Talent, and Ral, right? Alternatively, we can Ugin get rid of Ral, minus Karn for Trinisphere. Brotherhood End? Yes. Oh boy. Ral down at least. Ren's Resolve. Leaves them only of colorless though. Another Ral Manamorphose. Oh boy. So I need another Karn. Talisman doesn't cut it. Null Drifter. Actually, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're short. Play Talisman. Null Drifter trigger. And hold. Now we need to pray once again. Yeah, the Brotherhood End actually was really good there. Pitches Ral. Pitches Ritual. Draws a card. Ritual. You need a Past in Flames is what they need. Yeah, they got it. Because now they have access to the Grape Shot. I guess maybe there's an argument in regards to Brotherhood End that I should have grabbed Trinisphere. The only thing about Trinisphere is they can still play through it, right? And I guess the rituals are mana neutral then, by comparison. So maybe Trinisphere was the better option, as it would have required them to sweep board of artifacts, which would have also hit the medallion. I guess it's a good question, and one for those who pilot Ruby Storm. Which card in that instance is the better take? The Ruby, Trinisphere, if available, or Soulless Jailer? Soulless Jailer obviously turns off impulse draws and stops cards from being able to play from the graveyard, versus Trinisphere taxes. Because if I'm remembering correctly, Trinisphere, the way it works is a bit unintuitive. You first do reduction, see if mana equals 3. If it doesn't, you always pay 3. So maybe, given the situation, Trinisphere was the better play. It would have stopped them from sweeping both Karn and Jailer. I mean, I think they also just were very lucky in top decking the Wish on the play for game 2. I'll keep. Trigger. Utopia Sprawl. Casting window's a bit awkward, but we can make it work to try and get things moving forward at some point. Yeah, so I think in retrospect for game one we should have grabbed Trinisphere. Only real mistake I can really point to. Draw. Rumble. I would like a land, yeah? Alternatively, we would be able to Stone Brain for Wish next turn. So I'm going to go Impulse. For red. And pass. They're going to have the Medallion down. Manamorphose is mana neutral, or not mana neutral, it's a +1. Artist Talent. And the Artist Talent being able to play around Jailer is actually really significant. Prismatic Ending. Yeah, they already had one, hence why they had two in hand, so hence why they're willing to pitch. Well, this could once again come down to whether or not this Ralph flips. Past in Flames, they should get there, right? Yeah. Damn. They need to miss on every single Ral trigger. They win. Okay. So this is a good lesson to learn. I didn't really I think maybe because I was falling back on what information they already had, knowing Jailer was good, I had assumed Jailer was the best option, or at least the better option. Maybe not even assumed, but in my mind, subconsciously, I'm going, okay, I've been playing Jailer for Ruby Storm, so the right choice is Jailer. Jailer has a very positive win percent. Versus, I should have looked at each card's value separately. And I think when doing so would have realized in game one, when comparing the two options, that Trinisphere would have been the correct option. Harder for them to deal with unless they have a treasure, which they weren't able to utilize because Karn was on board. Or if they had a Brotherhood end, where that would have not been able to kill Trinisphere without it killing Jailer, or the fact that they would have only been able to cast, so many cards from hand because, Ritual only goes so far with Trinisphere, where Jailer still lets them Ritual, still lets them cycle the Artist Talent. Without Artist Talent on board, I think the Jailer makes a lot of sense, because then they're not able to dig as deep, where Trinisphere pretty much stops them entirely, right? The mana reduction doesn't matter with Trinisphere, whereas with Jailer they can still have the mana reduction, trigger Artist Talent, cycle cards to dig 4 answers, in this case a wish, finding Brotherhood End. So if we had gone Trinisphere in game one, we would have been much better off. So, small lessons learned. A bit unfortunate at the end of the day to lose as a result of those lessons. But hey, I say all the time, I'm by no means the best player in the room. I'm only trying to grow to be better. And while it is unfortunate that we lose as a result of those lessons, it is a necessary part to becoming better. So I think that comes down to card evaluation and probably some initial bias on my part, having the thought of, oh, let's go for Jailer instead of Trinisphere, because Trinisphere is more or less a newer addition to the deck. It's always been an option, but is definitely a newer addition into Prowess, Energy, Ruby Storm, right? So, I think that's what we can walk away from that match. That being said, we'll be back for round 2. Alright, and we're back for round 2. On the play for game 1. Let's take a look. Well, that is awkward, isn't it? And we have a turn 1, turn 2 play, ideally into a drifter, I suppose. But I think I'm mulligan this hand. This one's tempting as well, but again, we need a land off top. Mulligan one more time, or do we keep, is the question. If we draw into a land, it's not bad. If we draw into a lab, it's even better. Mulligan one more time. Keep this one. Want lab into breaker. A fetch. Drop the forest, drop the fetch, keep the return in case of an aggro matchup. And we'll play the lab first, that way if we find a K command, we can play X2. Marsh Flats fetch, Sacred Foundry shock, Ragavan. Tis a monkey. Draw, Karn. Windswept Heath, pass. Go to combat. Let's not belabor the point. Fetch. Stomping Grounds, shock. And pass. Shock Sacred Foundry and Guide of Souls. And Ragavan. Draw Null Drifter. I need blue. In that case, we are going to play KGC. And the question now becomes, do we minus KGC? I mean, if we plus, it's a lot of resources they would have to send at KGC for it to be relevant. Alternatively, I could go EE for one. I'm going to go minus ES. And go Engineered Explosives. Pass. And pass. So at the very least we can sweep EE for one. Otherwise if we draw into another temple we can sweep Drifter. Blue source we can sweep Drifter. So we have options. But at the very least Karn is down. Especially if they do play 2 creatures for the ETB. Doesn't look like they do. Which is interesting to me. Going at me, that tells me they have either a Galvanic Discharge or a Static Prison. The treasure's inconsequential right now as long as Karn is on board. Interesting. What did they hit off the top? Writhing Chrysalis would have been nice, I'll admit, but uncastable currently. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, not going for Karn's interesting to me. There's the discharge, as I thought. Draw. Utopia Sprawl. I'm going to go EE for one. And then pass. And hold. Of course, the alternative we could have gone is like bridge, but think EE makes more sense here. Bridge, of course, can get hit by Static Prison. Whereas this at least sets them back and lets us potentially set up for this Null Drifter in the following turns. Goes to combat. Activate EE, pass. Again, a blue source lets us cast Null Drifter. A temple lets us cast Null Drifter. There's a Flage. Paying cost, so they have one more. Fable. Okay, Fable's fine. Draw. Verdant Cat. Play Verdant Catacombs. Fetch Verdant Catacombs. So I'm tempted not to cast Drifter right now. Yes, we could draw into some cards. I guess I would be able to sweep the return. They have missed land drop, so actually it might be right to go Forest. Let's go Forest. Sprawl for blue. Evoke, hold up the green. Draw 2. Sweep. Cast Talisman. And pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next turn we have Ugin. Yeah, with them being Mana Light or Land Light, I think it was right to sweep there. I do find a land, finally. Fetch. Plains. For Pyro. Pyro Pitch. Season Pyro. Guide of Souls. That's fine. Draw. Misty. Cast Ugin. Actually, I'm going to Misty Rainforest. I was thinking about holding it for a Hedge Maze, but I kind of want to keep the temple up. In fact, I want to keep the temple up. Go for a forest. So we do that, and we draw into a K command, then we can cast it, right? Get rid of the Season Pyro. Plus with Ugin. Find another Ugin. Interesting. Pass and pass. Static Prison hits Ugin. That's fine. Attack for 2, down to 13. Voice of Victory. Get rid of Kiki Jiki or Voice. I mean, Voice is 3 power on board, or yeah, 3 power on board, so I think Voice is correct. So get rid of Voice. Draw a card, gain 3 life. Ugin Lab, no reason to cast that or play that right now. At the same time, yeah, we'll just play it. No. Pass. Fetch. Surveil land. And the good news is eventually they'll just they'll just sacrifice the Static Prison. I guess they could do that in the immediate. It gives me an Ugin of 7 loyalty rather than 9. They can drop it down, but they choose not to. Down to 11. Imagine all out Ugin. Yep, all out Ugin down to 5. So Static Prison goes away. Now we have an Ugin with equal to or less than loyalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw Chrysalis. Ugin plus Rumble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to 9. Rumble. World Breaker. Red, green. Blue. Ugin. Target reflections of Kiki Jiki. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sack the spawns, trigger the Writhing Chrysalis, play Sire 7 Vests, exile another spawn. Honestly, I actually may have exiled the Static Prison, and then plus Ugin. Get another draw in. So the question then becomes, how do I want to sideboard here? At the very least, you bring in the Dismember. That much is clear to me, right? It just then becomes, do I want to bring in the Trinisphere, the Chalice, the EE, or do you want to stick with Karn on the draw? Is Karn on the draw better versus Trinisphere, EE, Chalice, which I think is better on the play, because yeah, if we get down like the Chalice on 1, then that's much better on the play than it is on the draw. EE could be argued whenever, I think. So I think maybe we do bring in an EE, maybe cut 2 Karn and an Emrakul here. So maybe that's what we do. We bring in EE Dismember. I didn't cut the Ghost Quarter, so I can probably keep the Emrakul for now. Yeah, let's do that. Keep an Karn. I'll update the sideboard guide for on the draw against Energy. Got 2 Karn for EE. And keep the Emrakul. Alright. We are on the draw for game 2. I'll keep this and pass. Draw into a 7-minute value spell would be solid here. No turn 1 play. I'm trying to think here if Temple's right. Does he play Temple, play land, we'll play Talisman. So I think going Wooded Foothills here to set up is better. Arid Mesa fetch, Elegant Parlor. Next question, I mean, we have the Talisman. Okay, we definitely want to go for Bajuka Bog eventually, if we can get there fast enough. I think we should be able to. Voice of Victory, End Step for Hedge Maze. Hedge Maze trigger, Emrakul. Emrakul top. Ugin's Lab, Emrakul, Talisman, pass. So next turn we can kick a Myco Spawn and Bajuka Bog. Let's hope they don't have a Molten Rain. Otherwise we're just going to Bajuka Bog. Maybe in retrospect it was right to just play the Eldrazi Temple instead of the Ugin's Lab. Reason being is a Molten Rain obviously will hit the Ugin's Lab and Emrakul, whereas the Temple would have had the same effect of playing the Talisman and then the imprint into Myco Spawn. So yeah, in retrospect, playing the Temple would have been the right play. So a bit of a misplan on my part, but this Bajuka Bog will be solid. Draw. Temple, kick, Myco Spawn, kick, target Parlor, into Bajuka Bog to get rid of Flage. We can play everything in our deck short of a Emrakul right now. Paying cost for Bombardment. So they can attack the Voice of Victory, sack 2 spawns and an elemental token to ping down the Myco spawn, so they continue to apply pressure. I think that's correct. Yep, and then sack a elemental token. So we'll take 4 down to 12. 2 cards in yard. There's the K return. So we'll play Forest, Talisman, and pass 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I think I do return Emrakul on end step. A Johnny Nakadal Pariah, ET. Oh, I can't. Voice of Victory. Shit. Right. I can't K return. Yeah, that's on me. I should read cards. Because, I was more focused on the Mobilize 2 and not the clear text underneath that says your opponents cannot play. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I would have taken out the 3 damage. So I'd be at 9. Would that matter? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 9 to 5, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't be dead, at least. No, I would be, because Talisman would have cost me 1. So I'd have been dead regardless, but that was a misplay, irregardless of that fact. So, still, even if it doesn't necessarily matter, quote unquote, I think it's still good to recognize when you make mistakes like that. So cut Emrakul, cut World Breaker, and actually we can cut the gemstones. We don't need to cut the World Breaker. Right. All right, let's run it back. On play for game 3. I will keep. We'll go Temple in case we draw into a 7-mana value spell. Otherwise, we'll Shock Breeding. Well, I guess actually, Shocking Breeding Pool is better. Shock Breeding Pool, Utopia Sprawl for red, right? The worst case scenario here is a turn 1 Static Prison, which isn't the end of the world. It means a pretty slow start for them. Arid Mesa. Fetch. And even then, we still be able to play K-Command X1 next turn. Ragavan. Draw. Sowing Myco Spawn is interesting. Temple, K-Command. We should be able to kick the Myco Spawn next turn. Main. Arena of Glory. Combat. K-Command X1. Or X2, rather. And hold. Second main. A Johnny. I do want to kill a Johnny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can go Sowing Mycospawn into K return, right? Green, colors. Yes, I can do that. I think that would be correct. So cast. Oh, hold on. I'd have 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I wouldn't have enough because I need a 7-mana value spell, don't I? It's annoying. The alternative. No, I need red as well. Okay, never mind. I see what I need to do. So we might go spawn. Do we want to grab a temple? Because we want to play around Charmal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They draw land. So in that case, thinking that I want to go with maybe a basic forest, either that or a Stomping Ground Shock. Let's go Stomping Ground Shock, just so that way I do have a red source. Stomping Ground Shock. I guess actually. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could rumble. Yeah, let's rumble first. So green, colorless. Hold the red. Rumble. There's Drifter. Ugins Lab. Imprint Drifter. K return. Pass. In retrospect, maybe imprinting the Drifter was wrong, because now that does again turn on the Charmal. Even playing the Ugins Lab may have been wrong. Yeah. Molten Rain would also be bad. Yeah. So, there's a few things that could have been better there. So I think not imprinting Drifter would have been correct, at the very least. Because we didn't need to. It would have at least given us 2 Drifters in hand, right? Another Molten Rain, rude. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to combat. Down to 9. I can pump you up to 5, so I'd be 1 short. Sprawl. We can do that after. Go to combat, attack. Down to 4. And I think we just sprawl and self for blue here. And pass. This way we can Writhing Chrysalis and win next turn, right? Oh, actually, the Kozilek's return trigger will happen before the Evoke. So I actually won't be able to get Chrysalis to 6 toughness is the problem. There's a Johnny. Johnny triggers Guidasouls, grows. Do they have the Galvanic Discharge to flip the cat is the question. They do not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, yeah. Trigger. Trigger. Get rid of the Ajani and Bone Scoops. Yep, Bone Scoops. Okay, we got there. Solid win for round 2. We'll be back for round 3. Alright, and we're back for round 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a peek. Yeah, we can keep this. We go Lab, Imprint Null Drifter, Cast Talisman, and then this is a Karn on turn 2. If we can draw into another... If we draw into a red source, rather, we can play Chrysalis. Pass. No force. That's good. And pass. Meticulous Archive. A little bit worried about a force, actually. Ooh, Goryo's. Okay. Still worried about a force. Sara 7 deaths. Karn the Great Creator. Do you have a force? I feel like they do. If they don't, we go Tormod's Crypt. Because if they pitch Goryo's, they already have a Goryo's in hand. They're likely looking for something. Okay, well, Karn down. So there's a Troxa down. Interesting. See, I feel like they already have Goryo's in hand. Maybe a Troxa was what they were going to try and Goryo's. That may have been beneficial. No, they're looking for a land. Utopia Sprawl doesn't do anything. We're up to 6. We pass. Actually, I think I will Null Drifter here. I should wait for the gemstone if that was the case. Let's see what we can do. Okay, return. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did that regardless, because that would have just been duds. How? And pass. Oh. Opponent must have passed directly through their turn, and I passed through, almost passed through mine. I mean, I hold the K command. There's no ifs and buts about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'd be too short on the K command, so we're gonna hold. They miss another land. They do, so we're gonna go to end step. K command. At least this way I can play Sire 7 deaths. Bottom, bottom, top draw, and go to cleanup. There's Grizzlebrand. I'm hesitant to actually play Sire, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, I think we go Talisman. Writhing Chrysalis. This way we can hold up the K command, X equals 3. And at the very least, X equals 1 if they were to have, let's say, a consigned memory. Next turn we can play Sire. Hold. There's a land. Go to end step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll just hold the K command then. No reason to go for it. Fetch. For a forest. Sprawl. For red. Two. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, leaving X equals 1. Or we could just Sire 7 deaths here. I think just Sire. Hold up the K command. Go to combat. Down to 18. Hold up a command X3. Paying cost 4. Faithful Mending. Okay. Discarding a card. Discarding Leyline Binding. Okay. Hold. Polluted Delta fetch, I imagine? No. Okay. Draw. Temp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go to combat. I guess I could fetch for a Fatal Push. Polluted Delta. Could also go Leyline Binding. For 3. Get rid of the Sire 7 deaths. Swamp. Goryo's Vengeance. Interesting. And I could K command here, X equals 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we'll just K command X equals 1. Nope, I need yard. Because if they have a force, then it is what it is. Done. There's the force. Okay, this is fine. So there's Grizzlebrand. You can block the Writhing Chrysalis. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I could pump it as the thing. Is that necessary? And I can pump it to a 7/8. Trigger, always resolve. Mana warning. I guess they could E-Fem it. Draw 7. Maybe in retrospect doing that was wrong, because yeah, they could E-Fem it now, but then Sire can't be touched is the only issue, right? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're just too short on the K return. Not K return, the Emrakul. Go down to 12. There's no E-Fem. I'll hold the K return. Goryo's trigger. Lethal's still on board now. Hold the K return. And I guess my biggest concern there would have been a consigned memory, because they do tend to run the main. The biggest thing is that dealing with the Sire 7, that's just going to be very difficult for them. Even with a Troxa or a Grizzlebrand. They really need a Leyline Binding. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can't K return and Emrakul the same turn, as much as I would like to be able to. If they play Solitude, I guess they could get rid of Sire. I could try and E-Fem it. I'd get rid of that with K return. Fetch. Gala Shrine Shock down to 9. 2 for a Froge or a Goryo's. Another Goryo's. I mean, I guess you can draw another 7 down to 2. But again, you can't deal Sire then. You'd have to deal Sire first with a Leyline Binding or Solitude, and then Grizzlebrand. If you do that, you need 3 mana. There's the Solitude. Solitude, target, Sire, Ward 7. Let's see if they have an E-Fem. Invoke, no E-Fem. Passing. They go up to 9. I'll go down to 22. Psychic Frog. Draw 7 cards. I think they played their land for turn is the problem. They could Solitude again, I suppose. pitch with Frog. I mean, Frog will definitely be out of range is the problem. In fact, Frog can be bigger than Emrakul, which is funny to think about. Tameo. Yeah, the K return really doesn't do much here. And Grizzlebrand will die. They'll be at 2 though, and they can't counter the Emrakul, meaning that they have a shock in hand. I just win. Oh, there's a shock. Unfortunate. And pass. Goryos, triggers. Rumble. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we can rumble. Well, actually, if they force it, no. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would not be able to. So I think we just need to Emrakul here. Our turn, comrade. So they need to pitch every single shock land they have in hand right now. Because if they don't, I win. No attacks. And they have Solitude. They should probably evoke the Solitude. Pitching, Pluto Delta. Pluto Delta is not as much of an issue, but the shock lands are. Pitch Prismatic Ending because they don't want me targeting their Frog. Emperor Bones because they don't want me grabbing back Solitude. Emperor Bones because they don't want me grabbing back Solitude. Frog. That one probably could have stayed, honestly. Sink in the Stupor. Yep, that way. Actually, it says opponent controls, so that one's less relevant, I'd argue. Like, we're just gonna slam Frog into Chrysalis and Emrakul. That says opponent controls. That's important. Draw. Proving Grounds. Not really anything of use. So go to main. I mean, we could just pitch to Leyline Binding, as well as the Proving Ground. Yeah, so we just go pitch Binding, pitch Proving Ground 15, deal 8, deal 7, Frog dies, Chrysalis dies, Emrakul survives. So yeah, just discard. Always yield. Discard. Always yield. 1, 2, 3. Always yield. 1, 2, 3. Solitude, Grizzlebrand, Tameo. Emperor Bones, Psychic Frog, Emperor Bones. Force, Goryos, Goryos. Tainted Indulgence, Tameo, Prismatic Ending. Sink, Leyline, Zeatora. And Floodstrand, Marsh Flats, Hollowed Fountain. Go to combat. Attack. Go to blocks, block, and block. No. In fact, if I just do the 7, 8, That way neither one of them dies. And then pass. And pass. Good stuff. Waiting for game one. So bring in Jailer, bring in Dismember. Cut the K returns. And cut Ghost Quarter. And run it back like this. Yeah. Could also argue like bringing in Chalice or Stonebrain maybe. Chalice on 4 does break a lot of their deck. Stonebrain hitting Goryo's Vengeance is also good. Leaves them with just Emperor Bones, which is much more interactable with in the way of K Command or Dismember. So those are options. I wonder if they're correct. I mean, Karn can still grab Tormod's Crypt at a whim. I'll keep this. Yeah, so I wonder if maybe that would be right. Because like a Worldbreaker probably would get replaced with Stonebrain or Chalice. So this could have been either Stonebrain on 2 or it could have been Chalice on 3. The Bojuka Bog's a bit awkward here, admittedly. Opponent's Tinkin. They are at a time deficit, so they can't wait too long. And Dismember is solid here. I'll keep. I'll pass. They mulligan down to 6. They keep 6. Tapped land, no turn 1 place, no Tameo. Eldrazi Temple, solid. That means we draw into a K command, we're in a good position. Pass and hold for Dismember. Marsh Flats fetch. If they play Frog, do we Dismember is the question. Frog resolves. They'd have to pitch their entire hand. And then we can Bojuka Bog it. Frog down. Pass. Draw. Emrakul. Any reason to go Temple versus Windswept Teeth right now? I don't think so. I think we go Windswept Teeth and pass. And go for a Hedge Maze the setup. At least on their end step. Next turn we can obviously play Soin Mycospawn, though not thrilled by that prospect. Doesn't really do too much, other than Ramp us, of course. Which is good, admittedly. The fact they didn't pitch pitch something to Frog does suggest to me that they don't have a Troxa or Grizzlebrand in hand currently. Land. End step. Go to end step, fetch. Hedge Maze, trigger. Jailer, top. And draw. Play Jailer. You have a consign to memory. Play Temple and pass. Tainted Indulgence. Was tempted to play Bojuka Bog, but I think holding it was correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Currently 6 short of Emrakul. Ephem out, pass. I'm going to draw into another land, an untapped land. Blue. For what, Tameo? No. 4 cards in hand. Jailer will definitely slow things down a bit. Black. White. Black. Ketramos. That's unexpected. Draw. That's welcomed. They don't have double blue, but they can if they fetch, so I think we just ramp Exile here. At least attempt to. You have the Force. Or a Consign. Looks like you have a Consign. The Bojuka Bog feels worse now. Just because I won't be able to... If I exile their yard, right? Then I'm more or less enabling them. So I will not Bojuka Bog unless I absolutely need to. 3 types in yard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Frog. Frog. So Frog can now enable Ketramos, so the Bojuka Bog is less relevant. Because, yeah, they can float the Frog, trigger Ketramos, float the Frog, trigger Ketramos. They need to pitch one more card in order to get Ketramos to be able to attack, mind you, but still. Yep. Land. How many is it? Is it 5? 7 or more. Oh, that's so funny. Right, Worldbreaker. Worldbreaker's the 7th. Yeah, I missed that one. That's on me. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. So tempted to kick here. That way I can get Ziatora's Proving Ground off. And that would mean Leyline Binding's harder to cast. They could consign here. Looks like they are. I'll at least get the triggers. Yes. Less than ideal. They really wanted to get into Emrakul. Pass. Blue to Delta. Fetch for Surveil Land, I imagine. Yep. Yeah, the Ketramos was unexpected, I'll be honest. If they put into Grave, they'll be able to float Frog and hit me for 7 at a minimum, unless I double block the Ketra. The problem is, then they'll be able to... I guess they won't be able to float the Frog again next turn. Keeps it on top. Passes. I mean, I'll snap block the frog with the Soin Mica Spawn if they attack with it without floating. There's a Troxa. They can't Goryos yet because of Soulless Jailer. Float the frog, draw a card, down to 14. Up to 6 damage, down to 5. Good news is Writhing Chrysalis will definitely be a boon next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Currently 4 off the Emrakul. If you pitch another 3 up to, well, at 9 damage, it'll draw 1 more card. Up to 10, putting me to 1. So, I mean, that is an option. White, Leyline Binding, targeting, Mica Spawn, not as relevant right now, but it does draw with Ketra. Under 13. Again, they currently have access to 9 points of damage. Actually, 10 points of damage. I'll take the 6. Don't exactly have much in the way of choices. Down to 5. Draw a card. Draw. 2, 4, 5, 6. We're short. So green, red, colorless. Triggers. The Jukabog, target you, it's a bit late. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Paying cost. Faithful Mending. You can block the frog. That'll give us another type. Push up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, I mean, it might be right to just Writhing Chrysalis block the frog and then not block the Ketra, go down to 1. Pitch. Float, trigger Ketra. Yeah, Ketra Frog is strong. Wonder if maybe they don't know about the reach. We'll see. Prismatic Ending. Solitude. Solitude target Chrysalis. Right now they have a total of 6 damage in the air. I can block the Ketra's the thing. Right? Huh. I could pump that up to 4, go up to 9. But then I can't block the Ketra, which means I die. So I think I take the 2 and then I have to block Ketra. Ketra trigger. Oh no, I'm still dead to the frog. Right. Yes, I'm dead to frog. So I needed to, because yeah, they're going to draw off Ketra. I missed that one. So I needed to at least pump for 1. Is that right? Well, I guess then they just pitch 3, draw a card, pitch again, right? So block, block, and block. 2, 4, sack, sack, and damage. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Why'd they not kill me? Weird. K command. I need to exile the frog. The Ketra we can block. If they have a force, they win. Okay. And, I mean, they actually have a pretty slim clock, so we'll just force them to play it out. And they got there. Alright, loss for game 2. Let's move on to game 3. Thankfully, we have a pretty significant time advantage, so that's good there. Interesting. Yeah, did not expect the Catra. So, cut the gemstone, bring back in the ghost quarter. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that then. I guess we could still argue cutting the Bojuka Bog because of Ketra, though. Yeah, it's kind of awkward because Bojuka Bog obviously can impact a Goryo's plan, but it does feed Ketra. Keep. Utopia Sprawl for red. Into Temple Chrysalis seems right. Alternatively, could huddle up the K command for a frog. Wogan's down to 5. That's solid. I think maybe holding up the K command in general might be better, just in case of a turn 2 Goryos, right? Probably correct. Forest. Sprawl red. I mean, I don't think they can really afford to play Force right now, can they? Meticulous Archive. There's Goryo. So I think I can go for Chrysalis then. Reason being is that they can't Goryos on 2 anymore. Pass. And hold on the off chance that's relevant. Shadowy Backstreet. Sink in the Stupor. World Breaker, 2, 4, 6. I mean, we can go Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. I should be smart about this. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Get rid of their black source. Cuts them off of Frog, cuts them off of Goryos, cuts them off of Ketra. Shadowy Backstreet. Do you have a consigned memory? Even if you do, that's a pretty steep price to pay. There's the consign, counters the trigger, attack with Writhing Chris. And pass. They still can't Goryos effectively, so holding up the K command next turn is probably right. Draw, Soulless Jailer. Let's play land, go to combat. Play Soulless Jailer. Fetch Polluted Delta down to 6. You still have the K command, X equals 2 sewers. Solitude into yard. Jailer resolves. Hold up K command. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Good stuff. We'll be back for round 4. Alright, and we're back for round 4 on the play for game 1. Mulligan. I would love to keep this hand, but I can't. This hand's better, though. This hand's much better. Okay. So I keep... Do we pitch the Stomping Ground? Because we want to go... Let's see. Let's say Verdant Catacomb, Fetch, Forest, Utopia Sprawl, Ugin Lab, Imprint, Emrakul. And then... Let's pitch a Stomping Ground. That we can hold up for K Command on the off chance that that is relevant. I'm also tempted to go Breeding Pool, that we have access to both Null Drifter Evoke and... But I think I will go... I'm trying to think if there's any decks where I'm like really worried about land hate main. Not really. Maybe there's a reason why we actually would have gone Stomping Ground then, because then if we want the K return... yeah. I'll go Forest. Red. Pass. Pass. Sacred Foundry. Shock. Guide of Souls. Draw. K Command. Solid. So we'll hold up K Command. Paying cost. Go to combat. I'll let them hit me for 1. See what they play on second main. Elegant Parlor, trigger. And then I'm going to guess an Ocelot Pride following this. Guide of Souls in response. Luxal Guide of Souls. Done. Pass. Draw. Sanctum of Ugin. Kick a Sowing Mycospawn. Tempted to go Temple 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll go Temp. And then next turn we can K return. My only fear, of course, is a Static Prison on Utopia Sprawl. Ocelot Pride is fine. Guide of Souls trigger. Sacred Foundry tapped. They'll pass. Trigger. Another E-temp. Go to combat. I guess is there the question is there any reason why I should K return now? The answer is no. And pass. Draw. You go straight to combat's the question. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. To combat. Trigger. To blocks. Block the Ocelot Pride, and then sack. That way they can't get a creature token unless they play another creature to trigger Guide of Souls. Second main, bombardment, in response. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If we draw into a temple, we can. Otherwise, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I will return Emrakul to hand regardless and pass. Go to upkeep. Go to combat. Edge Maze, trigger, rumble top, and pass, and pass. So we should be able to sweep board next turn. Ajani wouldn't be the end of the world, though it definitely would hurt. Flage would be okay. It would be 4, unless they bolt the Myco spawn. Season Pyro. Pitches what? There's a Flasion Yard. And draw. Rumble. This is mana neutral as far as Emrakul is concerned. You can grab a second Emrakul. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need the Stomping Grounds. We confirm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Never mind. I would not. Let me make sure. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can put that in play tapped. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so tapped. Go to combat first. See if you want to block. Season Pyromancer into yard, so that way they can play the Flage. Triggers. Our turn comrade. Sanctum of Ugin. I'm gonna say yes for Null Drifter or Sire. I think I go Sire 7 deaths. Could also go World Breaker. I think Sire 7 deaths will be good here. Do you sack is the question. Ping 1. That's fine. Ping 2, that's fine. No trigger. Our turn comrade. Ragavan Plains Pyro. I mean, I could just play Pyro, pitch Plains, pitch Ragavan. That way they need to draw into another land. Might not be a bad idea. Johnny as well. Main. Yeah, I think we will play Pyro. The question now becomes what I want to pitch. I mean, a Johnny Plains would be fine. pitch a Johnny, pitch Plains, draw into Bombardment Pride, and then Goblin Bombardment, target self, sacrifice Flex Pyro, always yield. I guess I should just only do it for this turn, but eh. And then pass, so that way, even if you were to find a land... Yeah, perfect. So energy, win for game 1. Bring in Dismember, bring in Dismember. Since we're on the draw, I'm going to keep Karn in. Actually, I guess we can cut 2 Karn. Bring in EE. Cut the Ghost Quarter. And run it back like this. Yeah, that's what we determined. Alrighty. Yeah, basically E kind of acts as our fourth K return, though it is modular, which is kind of nice, because sometimes I can get rid of a Guide of Souls that's already floated. Can also get rid of non-creature spells or permanents, like a Johnny or Goblin Bombardment, so... Having the EE on board is kind of nice in that regard. The Karn can be beneficial, as obviously there's Chalice, there's Bridge, there's Tormod's Crypt. If the board is open, we can always go Liquid Metal Coating. So a lot of good choices for Karn as well. Even if just a one-of right now, we'll bring in Trinisphere and Chalice the following game if we go to game 3. On the draw for game 2. I mean, Gemstone Caverns is good. We'll keep Gemstone Cavern, exile Null Drift, pass. Arid Mesa, fetch. Worst case scenario here would be a Ragavan. Sacred Foundry, shock. Also, Pride is fine. Draw. Stomping Ground. We'll go Wooded Foothills. Pass. Put a pause on end step. Attack with Houselot Pride. Do you have your land drop? Elegant Parlor. You have a 1-drop. No. We'll fetch with Foothills. Hedge Maze, trigger. K-Command. K-Command's interesting. I'll put that on top. It's not good right now, but if we draw into a soul land, it's great, right? Forest, pass, hold up K return. I'll take the 2 if they attack and go into second main phase. Yep, go to combat. We'll take the 2. Second main. Land for turn. Fetch. Plains and Molten Rain in response. A return, sweep, and pass. Draw. The Jukabog. I will Stomping Ground, Shock, and evoke a Null Drifter. Draw 2. There's a Temple, no trigger here, pass. Those K commands online next turn. Of course, if they build up a decent board state, we can just Null Drifter. The Jukabog's nice in case they pitch a Flage. Yeah, I think we're in a decent position, all things considered. Arid Mesa, 4 cards in hand. Worst case scenario would be flip the Johnny. Sacred Foundry, Shock, interesting. Pedestals. Season Pyro. Discards 2. There's Flage. Okay, this is fantastic then. Because, yeah, we are able to go Null Drifter, Evoke. Triggers. Draw 2. K return. Sweep. Evoke. The Jukabog, target you, and pass. And pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And next turn we have a K command. We also have another K return. Land, 1 card left in hand, and passing. Draw. Temple. Hold. Fetch of the Marsh Flats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. So we're in a good spot. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will take the 1. Voice of Victory in response. Done. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So bottom, bottom, top, top, resolve, triggers, draw. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8, 10, 13, yes. Trigger 1, always yield. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Emrakul. Our turn, comrade. round, scoops it up. We'll take the W. Solid win for round 4. We'll be back for round 5. Alright, and we're back for round 5 on the play for game 1. Keep this. I'd love to find a soul land off the top. So we'll go Misty Rainforest, fetch, red. Next turn we can Talisman Bajuka Bog, allowing us to Writhing Chrysalis on 3, which gives a Kozilek's Command on 4. Not ideal, but if we draw into a soul land, we'll be able to Writhing Chrysalis on 2, which is also very good. Either that or Kozilek's Command on 2. So definitely not a bad hand, but could definitely be made better. We have, what, 8 hits off the top for soul lands, and of course just the remainder of our lands as well. Misty Rainforest fetch. I'm going to go Stomping Grounds on the off chance that they do hit my Utopia Sprawl, so I think go Stomping Grounds. Well, so we go Stomping Grounds for green. I guess we can go for blue. Yeah. Stomping Grounds, Shock, Utopia Sprawl. For blue. I guess actually we do need to go green if you draw into a soul land, so yes, we'll go green. Pass. And pass. White Orchid Phantom isn't as common, so not as... Ooh. Darkside Shores. Preordain. 1 top, 1 bottom draw. Could be Murktide maybe. Sanctum of Ugin. Play Talisman of Curiosity. See how this resolves. Force. Bajuka Bog, target you. This way you can play the Writhing Chrysalis next turn. Pass. They need a counter spell to stop the Chrysalis. That still would give me the spawns though, which is fine. Bloodstained Mire, pass, draw, Karn. Don't want to play Karn right now though, instead play Chrysalis, hold. I guess there could have been an argument, actually probably would have been correct for me to hold the K command instead. At the same time, there's some interesting questions here, right? If we hold the K command, they don't play anything. I guess we could have used the K command as a permission spell. On the other hand, if they counter this and we have the spawns, that means we get a counter spell out of hand. And that would allow us to potentially Karn or Ugin, but they fetch, shock. What? What's happening here? Sheoldred's Edict. Huh. I was not expecting to see an Edict effect. That's kind of nice because now we can play Karn. Tamia resolves. I still have a counter spell is the only issue. Draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to go to their upkeep or when they fetch with the Marsh Flats. No attack. See, I have a slight problem though, because I do need to sacrifice at least a spawn to do this. Not the biggest fan of doing that, but we'll keep 1 spawn up. So yeah, they have the counter spell. They do. That's fine. Likely means they can't play anything else this turn, which means we'll be able to play Karn ideally 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Land. Trigger. Fetch. Watery Grave, shock. Fetch. Island. Passing. Oh, I guess. Yeah, because they're not in second main yet. They did that a bit early. Frog. Double blue. Draw a card. Double blue. Murktide. Okay. So they can't force. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rough. So, Verdant Catacomb. Cast Karn the Great Creator. Minus Karn the Great Creator. Yes. For Ensnaring Bridge? Yes. And then pass. Karn demands to be answered, so Murktide will attack Karn. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too short on the Emrakul. Fetch of the Flooded Strand. So this looks like Murktide. Traditional Murktide. And all things considered, we're in a decent position. They can flip the Tamiyo for what it's worth, but I'm not sure that's really beneficial in the grand scheme. At least not in the immediate. 5, paying cost, draw a card. Preordain, trigger Tamiyo. So we do need to deal with Tamiyo at some point, right? Scry to draw. So now I become worried about something like a counter spell, right? Because clearly it's not an easy choice what they grab here. 1 top, 1 bottom draw. Trigger Tamiyo. Tick up. 2. Bowmaster, target spawn, sack and response, end step, fetch Verdant Cat, hedge maze, trigger, rumble top. I guess actually I should go black, green, rumble. There's Null Drifter. There's another land though. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll go Wooded Foothills. Play Wooded Foothills. Play Bridge. Bridge resolves. And we'll pass 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They can minus for the Tamiyo, but I think I might just be able to go Ugin, hit Tamiyo, call it a day. Because short of them having a consigned memory, we're in a good spot. Draw a card. Because right now, the only thing they can deal with Bridge is Sink in the Stupor. 2 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, as long as we can keep this spawn on board, we're in a good spot. Fetch. Down to 11. Under City Sewers. Puts it into Yard. Imagine Tamiyo tick up. Guess they could go Preordain. 2, 3. A Harbinger would actually be a bit rough here, but this looks more like a Murktide. but they're short? No, they have Murktide mana. So the question is, why wouldn't they play Murktide? If they do this, we guarantee... Oh, Sinking Stupor. That's fine, because that means they don't have a force. So yes, that resolves. But like, they only can do that once. Okay, so they bring back Sinking Stupor. Cute. Oh, that's interesting, because it leaves... That's cute. I like that. End step, no block. On a 9, we fetch. I'll go for just a basic forest on the off chance they do play Harbinger main. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I will play Emrakul here because Sinking Stupor can't deal with that well, if at all. In fact, as much as I would have liked Ugin, doing this seems like a better option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll keep the Sanctum. So short of a subtlety here, Emrakul should guarantee us the win. Pass in full. No. Our turn, comrade. Edict effect actually would be pretty effective here. Ransom. So I can use Ransom. Counterspell. I guess we can use Ransom and Counterspell. So I go to main. So hold, Ransom, blue. I guess we can go blue, black, blue. Hold control, counterspell, target, ransom, blue, blue. Ransom gets countered. Go to combat. Attack with Murktide. Block Murktide. Should I bolt in the sink? I mean, they can't return Emrakul because it's an instant, or sinks an instant as pro instant. They have no reason to plus Tamiyo. I guess I could just bolt it in. And pass. And pass. Plus Tamiyo. I still have lethal on board. Guess they can go decent sized Murktide. In a 7/7. So they at least get another turn for what it's worth. Unless I draw into a land. Because that will give me Ugin. And GG's. Opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. Yeah, the Sinking Stupor from them was interesting. I'm not sure if it was right or not. Don't need Ghost Quarter. We do want Pajuka Bog. We can cut a Karn here. We cut an Emrakul. Let me take a look. On the draw against Murk. I mean, we do cut Emrakul. See, there is a thought about bringing in Trinisphere in this matchup, because that way you can tax their counter spells, right? That's a thought. Same time, Emrakul is a bit weak because of Nihil's Spell Bomb. And as we saw there, Karn into bridge is very strong. Short of that Sink of the Stupor, they really can't deal with it. I'll keep. Pass. We'd love to see a green source, of course. Do I imprint Null Drifter or Ugin first is the next question. So green source would be good. A K command would be good. Here's a green source. Green Pool Shock. Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And pass. So yes, I think I'll actually tuck the Ugin then. And then hold, play around a Consign to Memory. Fetch for, they fetch for, I was gonna say basic Swamp. Frog. Draw. Karn. So we could force check here. Ugin Lab. I could imprint Ugin. Or I could imprint Drifter. By imprinting Drifter, we get to 4. So my spawn gets us to 5. I think I will imprint the Drift. Right now their shields are down, so casting a Mycospawn does seem like a good option. We'll go for E-Temp, and then pass. So now they have 5. I guess a Fetch Surveil would get them a small Murktide. I'm not too worried about that. I guess they can also pitch Frog to get to Murktide. So even a Jukabog would kind of be a bit mid. There's a basic Swamp, so this is a Harbinger. Thoughtseize, never mind. There's a lot of good things in my hand that they need to take, so I'm okay with this. I mean, Karn can get Bridge. Ugin takes the Ugin, interesting. I mean, I'll snap block the Frog. They float the Frog. No blocks. Four cards in yard. They could be playing a Murktide on second main. Looking like that might be the case. The question then becomes, they kind of end up in a similar situation as last time, right? Murktide 6. Draw. Sire. 2, 4, 6. Honestly, the Sire might be a better play. But then again, we're guaranteed to resolve Karn. So, Karn into bridge. Karn minus ES into bridge. Ugin's Lab. Imprint Sire. So again, short of a Sink in the Stupor, they can't attack. Pass. And now we kind of just take control of the game. Pass. We draw into a land. We can play Sire 7 Deaths, Null Drifter, what have you. Hell, if I Stone Brain out Sink, do I just win? I think so, right? Minus Karn. Yes. For Stonebrain. Cast Stonebrain. Do you have a counterspell? There's counterspell. In that case, I will dismember Froge. And pass. And I guess we could just hold. Put a pause on end step. Return exile card to owner's hand. Because now what I can do is go blue-red. One, two. So K return, 1, 2. Into Drifter to sweep. Draw 2. K return, yes, Murktide. Hedge Maze, trigger. Find another KGC. I'll put it on top. No reason for me not to. Done. And pass. Fetch with the Bloodstained Mire. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we can play the Sire next turn. Alternatively, again, I could just Stonebrain and name Synchronous Stupor, and I think just win. Spellbomb's fine. And Bone scoops it up. Yeah, I mean, Karn can just be a really good card in a matchup. Bridge is pretty unbeatable for Murktide. But that said, we'll be back for round 6. Alright, and we're back for round 6 on the play for game 1. I will keep Forest, Sprawl red, and pass. And pass. We're likely to go Malevolent Rumble, Mountain, Red, Ragavan, Monastery Swiftspear, DRC. Okay. E-Temp. Tempted to hold the K command, but we can actually do both, so we'll go Rumble. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go Null Drifter. And hold the K command. This could be Prowess. That's my initial thought. Steam Bend Shock. Quarry Steel Cut. I'm going to exile the DRC now. Actually, do I need to do this right now? I don't need to. Yeah, I'll just hold. I'm thinking about it. I don't need to right now because there's a world where if they don't get 3 types in yard, or 4 types in yard, I can just block and then clear out the token. Yeah. Otherwise, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah, actually, there's a world where I think I go Hedge Maze, Utopia Sprawl for red, onto Hedge Maze, and then K return to sweep. I think that might be fine. We could hold the K return. Again, we could go for the K return right now if we really want. Tis an interesting thought. Like, maybe just holding the K command's correct. I'm just trying to think of, like, ways they could out the K return. There's Bobble. Yeah, I thought that would be the case. Keeps it on top. Ball will target me. Go to combat. Go to blocks. I think I will go this route. Okay, Command X1. It'll be hard to get the DRC out of range of the K return. Bobble trigger. Draw another K command. Interesting. Well, in that case, I think I just go Hedge Maze tapped, Surveil trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could put 6 on top. Do I want to sprawl now is the question? K command X equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I just hold the K command then. Because I can K command 2 or 3. And then bring in Ugin or K return even if we really need. There's another DRC. Thundering Falls. Lava Dart. I mean, they can Lava Dart, trigger Corey's Steel Cut. They know about the K command, though. As long as I continue to stall them, it's fine. Another DRC, trigger Corey's Steel Cut. Go to combat, and I think we just rinse repeat what I've been doing. Go to blocks. And draw. So I could Ugin here. Actually, before we do that, hold up. Utopia Sprawl here for blue. So red, green, blue. For 7. Ugin. We could get rid of Corey's Steel Cut, or we can get rid of a DRC. I'm going to get rid of a DRC. Plus with Ugin, draw, temp, pass. And pass. Next turn we should be able to sweep board in full. I mean, if they're able to deal me 23 damage, then it is what it is at that point. I feel like if they were planning on doing that, they would have plotted a slick shot show off instead. If they can't deal with Ugin effectively, then Ugin should run away with the game. And they can Lava Dart, target Ugin, Surveil 2 to try and get DRC up. Guess maybe there just is an argument that we should have just K returned and swept. We've gotten rid of both DRCs. I mean, this way we can force them to overextend. Lightning Bolt, target me. That's a bit scary. Slick Shot, show off into yard. To 20. Can you deal me 20 damage? Another bolt, target me. DRC pitching Bloodstained Mire, pitching Bloodstained Mire down to 17. So they could Lava Dart and kill Ugin here. And then one more for what? I do have the Lava Dart in yard. There's Lava Dart, target me, down to 16. So we'll be able to sweep next turn regardless. Right now they're looking at 9 damage. They can't ignore the Ugin. Puts the card on top of their library. Is this actually enough? 10, 16. Should have swept. I got greedy. Wow. So, Prowess, yeah. So I should have treated... I think there's a mistake that I make often enough that I do need to be aware of, where I go, okay, well, I could just gain advantage versus treating the deck as control, where I should have probably just swept instead. Yeah. Alright, well, that was unfortunate. And what do we cut here? On to play against Prowess. Emrakul. Yep, makes sense to me. So yeah, if I had swept, we wouldn't have been dead. Of course, I think they still had 1 mana up for the Bolt to try and keep DRC at a range. Though I don't think that would have mattered. I think it would have had enough for both, right? I think so. So yeah, I should have went for the sweep is kind of what we're coming down to here. So, mistake was made. If I had done that, then we would have still been alive to then Ugin, exile something, gain some life, yada yada. Huh. Well, second time in 2 days where me trying to go for Ugin has cost me. I mean, they needed like the exact right double bolt lava dart to get there, which is kind of nuts when you think about it. But we should always be playing around the worst case scenario while trying to advance our best case scenario. Kind of find that happy medium, and did not do that. DRC. Draw. E-temp. Go E-temp. Swine Myco spawn. No kick. For an E-temp. Pass. And pass. Next turn I can World Breaker, so we have a reach blocker. Another DRC. Bobble trigger. Depending on how many types are in yard, it might actually be worth going the Jukabog. Two, land, three. Still think our reach blocker's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could go World Breaker. Alternatively, we could go Kicked Myco spawn. Yeah, I think we go World Breaker. Go after the steam vents and then pass. After the wooded foothills, steam vent, shock. Are we gonna lava dart? Could be a consign. Do you consign the body or the trigger? The body. So now DRC is online. We can Bajuka Bog next turn. Take the 6. Passing Null Drifter. I will kick the Myco spawn. Kick the steam vent, see if you have another consign. Float a red. Bolt, target me. Surveil triggers. So as long as we're able to search for Bajuka Bog, we're in a good spot. We're gonna go down to 10. Blue, consign. What do you consign is the next question. The exile or the search? Oh no. Breeding Bull tapped. I can't block that, so I'll attack and pass. Do we just lose? They attack 4th, 6 down to 4. Violent Urge. Double strike. Which means I take 11. Yeah, Violent Urge is an issue. Was there any way out of that? I mean, they gave me the Exile, they gave me the body, but didn't want to give me the land search for the Bajuka Bog. So even if I played the World Breaker, they would have countered the body, but not the triggers. If I had evoked, we wouldn't have found anything of relevance. So, nope, I don't think there is anything I could have done given that they had 2 consigned to memories. I think in game 1, we could have definitely put ourselves into a better position. Not necessarily saying that we could have won, but at the very least, I think attempting to sweep the DRCs would have been correct. Even if they had bolted me and grown the DRCs to 3/3s, we would have been able to evoke the Null Drifter to sweep for 5. So I think we could have won game 1, but game 2, I'm not sure we could have done anything differently. Huh. Because we played Mycospawn. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder if we should have grabbed a Cavernous Souls. That way we could have kicked the Mycospawn on 2 and then set up for the World Breaker on 3. That way we could have guaranteed the body on board. That's my only thought there that could be relevant, that we didn't go that line, instead just trying to ramp into the breaker itself on turn 3. Whereas if we had played it turn 4, maybe we would have been okay. Again, double consign is rough, so I can't really say too much there. Yeah. So I'd say maybe there are some different lines available to me for game 2, but for game 1, I think I took the wrong line. I think game 1, I ostensibly took the wrong line by not trying to sweep, instead trying to force through the Ugin, thinking, okay, Ugin demands to be answered, so even if they have 9+ damage, they're putting it at Ugin, not expecting they're going to double bolt Lava Dart into Violent Urge for 16 damage. Was not on my bingo card, I'll put it that way. So I think we should have in game 1 gone K-return sweep. If they then bolted to get Delirium, we could have then Drifter, evoked, swept again, getting rid of all 3 DRCs, right? So I think that would have made more sense versus Ugin theoretically gets rid of 2 DRCs. One off the Exile, the second one off of the 3 life that is gained. So we ostensibly, remove 3 DRCs, leaving just the 3rd and the Corey Steel Cut. But because they had that 3rd for all intent and purpose, they were able to win. Yeah, because the Corey Steel Cut probably would have been able to hit me for, 10? Yeah, they would have been able to hit me for 10 in comparison to 16. So I would have still been alive? Question mark? I would have been just barely alive because I was at 16 after gaining 3 from Ugin. Meaning that I was at 13 prior, so I would have been at 3. So I still would have been alive at the end of the day, and that's what matters in game 1. It would have been not a good position, but we would have been alive. And alive means we get turns. Turns means we can find answers. So game 1, I think, still would have been close if we had taken the correct line. But sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. And as per usual, we make mistakes and we learn from them. So this will likely knock me out of contention for top 8, but at the very least with an X2 record, we can try and get top 16, at the very least top 32. So we'll be playing out round 7. We'll be back for round 7. All right, enter back for round 7 on the play for game 1. wouldn't be a great thing. Put a mulligan here. I'll keep this though. This is very good. The question then becomes, do we imprint the Worldbreaker or the Emrakul? Second question is, do I drop one of the 7 mana value spells? Because when I go Lab, I think we go Emrakul, Tuckbreaker, play Talisman, play Sanctum, hold Command, or play Rumble, depending on what we're playing against. Okay. This looks good. We'll keep drop Breaker, see if we can get into an Emrakul eventually. Ugin's Lab, imprint Emrakul. Cast Talisman and pass. And pass. Let's see what we're up against. Could be Murktide. So no force. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is interesting here. I think they hit the command. I think that is correct. But Rumble could be argued for. Takes the command, so that puts us into casting Rumble next turn. Play Sanctum. Play Rumble. Force check. No force. There's Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tempted to go for Forest. Yeah, let's go for Forest. 5 types in yard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 off of Ugin. Not Ugin, Emrakul. Next turn we can evoke Null Drifter to draw 2, if nothing else. Sporific Springs, Bolt, for a Froge. Yeah, rumbling over a return would have been nice. Draw, Temple, wow. If I go Temple... I mean, we're free to cast Null Drifter. Trigger Sanctum, draw 2. There's a breeding pool. I'm tempted to say yes, because it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still short. But I could go a kicked Mycospawn next turn, so I'm going to say yes. 2, 4, 5, 6. So let's go Mycospawn. And pass. And pass. I mean, I'll snap block here. Forcing the pitch. Allow the pitch 3 out of their 6. Let Sheath's Thirst. Spell Snare. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I think Ghost Swine Megaspawn kicked into a Soul Land. Thought Scour. This actually could be Oculus then. Not Murktide. Island. Land for turn, 2 remain. Cyrus 7 Deaths is solid. Kick Sowing Mycospawn. if going something like Cavernous Souls might be better then. If it is Oculus, though, getting rid of the Yard is solid. I think I'll go Bajukabog. Target you. And pass. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have Emrakul next turn regardless. Fetch, Sewers, Thought Scour, Frog. They can float the Frog. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so we do have Emrakul next turn. Otherwise, we can play Cyrus 7 Deaths. Pass. Do you float the Frog? Two cards in hand. I'll snap block. Not sure why you wouldn't float there. Fetch to 5. Water Grave. Shock. Do you have Harbinger main? If so, you probably would have grabbed a Swamp, right? Pitch with Frog. I mean, in my opinion, this was not the right move. So this is Oculus, after all. Yeah, because that gives me a green light for everything I want to do now. So confirming 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, shock 13. Return Emrakul to hand. Our turn, Comrade. Draw, unearth. Probably just pitch that to Frog, but opponent's going to scoop. We'll take the win for game 1. Alright, on the sideboard. Bring in Dismember. Cut the Ghost Quarter, cut the Emrakul, and run it back. Again, Karn is good in this matchup. Very hard time dealing with a bridge, short of a Sink in the Stupor. Of course, a turn to Oculus or turn to Harbinger can be a bit rough for us. So, just need to play mindfully around them. Otherwise, opponent will of course bring in some number of consigned memory. Soulless Joe is an interesting thought. It would cut off the unearth lines. I thought about it before, but like, what would he cut for it? We could cut some number of Karn, 2 Karns for 2 jailers. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Alternatively, we could cut Worldbreaker, Chrysalis, keep Karn, but Karn can be kind of hit or miss in this matchup. If it resolves and we get a bridge and that resolves, we're in a good spot. If not, a little bit meh. So maybe Jailer in place of Karn wouldn't be a bad idea? Interesting thoughts. You still have access to a Karn for bridge or Tormod's Crypt. It's a thought. Yeah, not sure. I think it could be argued. It just is pretty narrow because they could always just, you know, play the Oculus, right? I want to draw for game 2. I'll keep this. Would love to see another Soul Land. Would love to see a Utopia Sprawl off the top. So I'll keep. I'll pass. One goes down to 6. Keep 6. Plays Marsh Flats. Passing. The Jukabog. Play Temple in case we draw into a Temple. Fetch. Surveil Land. Hoping to see Oculus or Harbinger. Hell, even a Frog. No, Watery Grave. Thought Scour. That would be my guess. Thought Scour, sees Thoughtseize, Swamp. They need, what, 5 or 6? I want to say 6. So I wonder if we would Jukabog. Draw. Mycospawn. I will Bajukabog target you. I want you not to have a big ol' Oculus. Fetch. Sewers. Keeps it on top. Pass. Worst case scenario here is fetch for Swamp into Harbinger. We won't be able to play the Soin Megaspawn next turn, but we would be able to the turn after. We would have double colorless thanks to Talisman, but no Swamp. Basic Island, though. Interesting. Yeah, if it's a Swamp, then I'd say Harbinger is in hand, but they didn't. So I'm not worried about that. The question then remains, what do they have in hand? For 3 mana. Otherwise, they could have held for a Surveil land. Damping Sphere is less than ideal, but fine. Fortunately, this means I can't cast the second Talisman, so we'll just go Talisman of Curiosity and pass and hold. Next turn we can Writhing Chrysalis. Thoughtseize. I don't see a lot of good hits for me here between Karn, Mycospawns, Chrysalis, etc. Tempted to maybe go Soin Megaspawn for a Cavern of Souls. Just that way we can guarantee the bodies on board. We could also go Command X2, try and once again stop an Oculus. Keeps it on top though. Draw. K returns solid. We could also try and resolve Karn. I think we go Myco. You have Consigned Memory. Doesn't look like it. We'll go Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. And pass. Opponent's thinking whether or not they want to counter this, I suppose. I mean, next turn I can go Soin Mycospawn. And right now we do have X equals 3, so even if they do play an Oculus, unless they have a counter as backup, we'll be able to K command and exile it, leaving just the manifest creature. Alright. ETB, pass. Paying cost for Frog. Frog resolves. And I guess they could pitch and then Oculus for Unearth. That's an option. Spurific Springs, tapped. Draw. Hedge Maze. Play Mycospawn. Can't be countered, so we at least get another body on board. I'll go with a E-Temp. Hedge Maze. Malevolent Rumble on top. And pass. No attacks. I mean, if they float the frog, that's fine. Means that they don't have the Oculus, right? Float the frog. So no Oculus in hand. Either that or they can't get there. They definitely had enough, so they're just trying to draw. Okay. Draws a card, down 19. I guess there was one thought to maybe attacking with the Soin Megaspawn before casting the other Soin Megaspawn, because that would have allowed me to do some interesting stuff. That is fine, because we have the K return. Draw. Let's start with a Rumble, see if they will counter. I'll grab a Null Drifter then. And attempt to cast a Talisman of Curiosity. And then go to their upkeep. I'm gonna ramp exile and attempt to exile the frog. I don't really care about Harbinger all too much. Counterspell. Yep, that's fine. So whatever they have next is going to be taxed. Combat. I mean, I'll snap block the frog. Draw another Rumble. There's Sowing Mycospawn. They're missing out on black sources right now. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Go after sewers. Do you have a consign? You do not. In that case, we'll go with E-Temp. No reason to attack right now. Yeah, by them not going for a swamp instead of an island, they're now cutting themselves off of black. Doesn't seem like they have a consign in hand, but could have counter spells, but that's okay. So I think next turn we attack all in and see how that goes. Because right now we're just kind of sandbagging the Drifter and K return. Go to combat. I mean, you can't attack the Harbinger unless that's bait. If you do, then I just won't block it. If you attack a frog, we'll triple block it. No reason for me not to. Alright, go to combat. Cyrus 7 deaths, we'll go to combat. Frog. Pitch the frog. Attempt to resolve a K return. You pitched the frog again. Pitch the frog again for another Oculus. Harbinger down, opponent realizing it wasn't worth pitching to the frog. Frog down, black unlocked. Two cards in hand. I mean, even if you were to pitch another 2 times, the frog will die. Frog down. And I will cast a KGC. You have a counterspell. No counterspell. I'll minus KGC. And I'll grab a Ensnaring Bridge and pass. Again, the only answer they have to bridge is either a counterspell or the Sporific Spring. So if they unearth an Oculus, A, so what? I'm going to sweep the board. B, so what? I have bridge. So neither option's really good for them. There's unearth. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Forest. I mean, I have no reason not to go to combat here if I'm going to sweep or at least attempt to. So go to combat. Block and block. It could be scared of another K return, but yeah. That's fine. Go to Delta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we can guarantee the body on board. Trigger. Yes. Realizing they can't counter it. Minus KGC. Yes. For Tormod's Crypt. Cast Tormod's Crypt for 1. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Solid end to today's challenge. That there will result in a 5-2 record at the end of 7 rounds. Looking back at our losses, so like obviously we had some really good wins. As far as losses are concerned, though, our main one was against Ruby Storm in round 1, and then Prowess in round 6. So the biggest things to kind of take away from those losses, specifically in, I would say, let's see. I'm trying to recall. For Ruby Storm in game 1, it really was our choice of taking or wishing for a Soulless Jailer instead of a Trinisphere. After talking with our resident Ruby Storm pilot in my community, they agreed with my assessment after the fact that given they had mana reducers and artist talent and weren't reliant on impulse draws, that playing Trinisphere was 1000% the correct move. So just a slight misplay there, but a good lesson to learn. I think it really was a cognitive bias that in my mind was like, well, Jailer's always been the right choice. It has always performed well in these situations. We should go for Jailer, right? where in reality, the right move was to evaluate the board state, go, okay, does Jailer actually do what I need it to do? And the answer in that moment was no. Trinisphere would have been better, allowing us to win game 1 and potentially get to a game 3, right? As far as Prowess is concerned, I mean, was it game 1 or game 2? I want to say it was game 1, yes. The thought process with pushing through Ugin was Ugin exiles a DRC that removes 3 points of damage. Ugin pluses, that pushes up to 16, that removes technically another 3 points of damage, meaning at our starting point of 13, we were looking at a total of 3 damage from DRC, maybe another 2 off of the Corey Steelcutter Monk token. Based on that, though, we probably should have evaluated it a little bit better, because while we mitigated 6 damage with Ugin, for all intent and purpose, if we had gone the line of Kozilek's Return to sweep, then we would have gotten 9 points of damage off board rather than 6. So just from a value comparison between Ugin and K-Return there, K-Return was the better choice, especially for the fact that even if they were to get Delirium at instant speed, which would have only then buffed the DRCs above the K-Return, we still should have had enough mana to then evoke the Null Drifter to re-trigger K-Return and sweep board, again removing 9 points of damage from the board rather than the 6 that we did. So had we done that in game 1, we would have at least not died the following turn. As far as game 2 for Prowess is concerned, that one's a little bit more tricky. I think there could have been an argument for me to have fetched for a Cavern of Souls rather than a Temple. We went for the Temple so we could have turn 3'd a World Breaker, right, and gotten a Reach Blocker. But of course they had Consigned to Memory. Had I grabbed a Cavern of Souls, we would have been able to kick a Mycospawn. Of course, they still would have countered the Exile trigger and the Search trigger, and we still would have taken likely 3-6 damage from the DRCs. However, we would have then been able to follow up the following turn with a Reach Blocker in the way of World Breaker, right? Now, might we have still died afterwards? Maybe. I forget the card name, but the one that gives +1/+0 double strike if it has Ferocious. Yeah, that one's a bit terrifying because that one can really come out of nowhere. They dealt me 8 damage. I think it was at 10 at that point in time. And so if we had been able to get the World Breaker out, I think we would have been okay. We would have at least gotten one more turn, and we would have been able to get another World Breaker on board. The one that was tucked underneath the Ugin's Lab. So I think that was kind of our misline, where we wanted to go a bit faster, but in reality, given the situation, we probably should have went just a tad slower. Of course, them having just, double Consigned to Memory is just hard to play around. And I guess there is a potential that had we gone kicked Mycospawn, we may have not been able to get another land for the World Breaker, so we may have been stuck on 6 rather than getting to 7. So there is that thought as well that we do have to consider. So I think there were some different lines that could have resulted in better outcomes. I think the lines that I chose had some form of reasoning. I think out of all the mistakes we made this challenge, I would say the most egregious was definitely in round 1, game 1, by not choosing Trinisphere. I think, like I said, mitigating 6 damage with an Ugin on board is reasonable. I think that if we compared value-wise, mitigating 9 damage versus 6, I think would have made more sense. It also would have allowed me to then Ugin next turn anyways. So I think from that perspective, I could still classify that as a mistake, even though maybe it just was an incorrect line. So some give and take there in that regard. Overall, really solid wins, some close losses, some good lessons learned. So I'm happy with the end result. We should end, I want to say, somewhere in the top 16, maybe top 32 if we get unlucky with breakers, but I'm pretty happy with the results regardless. 5-2, always a positive end result. With that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you haven't already, please do consider clicking the subscribe button as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At that point in time, we'll be able to begin monetizing these videos, which allow me to make even more Magic the Gathering content. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over on my Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos, as well as updates to my deck guides. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!